Hello, and once again, we are live with the Modern Mystery School UK EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today we are joined by the lovely Kasia. Kasia, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited for this chat.
I know. Isn't it a great topic? Isn't it a great topic? Because, why do we even want a spiritual guide? You are a business owner, you came in. Did you come into the spiritual thinking, oh, I want a spiritual guide and da 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 da? I mean, tell us about it.
No, not necessarily. I was not aware that I need spiritual guide. I actually was very unwell, and I was fearing that I will die with the health issues that I had. And I really knew that I need to find alternative medical care apart from doing my medicine, care as well. And so I was searching and looking and looking, and then one day I found this amazing lady who embodied what I wanted. And so I went to her and asked her, I don't know what you have, but I want it. And then, she said, oh, I'm a guide in a mystery school tradition. And, the healing starts with live activation. And that's really how it happened. So it wasn't a conscious search, oh, I need a guide. But when I found someone, when I felt they had something that I want, and not necessarily I understood that logically, it was the energy, the way how she carried herself, her confidence and yet softness. And I was like, oh, I want to be like that. And that really how it started.
What would you say? Because there's a lot of choice out there in the world of, things that we can do to heal and to help us. And it can be very confusing. But for you, what would you say has been some of the times or situations where you felt that the spiritual guide, from a path and a lineage has helped you versus maybe something that you might have done in the past or is there any difference? Maybe there's not.
I think it's a massive difference. I feel it was always guiding me home to me, to find the wisdom within me, either by receiving another healing session or taking another class, or sometimes actually returning and using the tools I already had, like sanctuary meditation, and really inquiring within. So it was always empowering and redirecting me to find the wisdom from within. And in the moments of confusion, I felt always very held in the light. And even if the answer would not arise straight away, just being in my guide's presence would create that space of, oh, it's okay to be uncertain at this point. I can wait to do deeper healing, deeper self-inquiry to find the answer from within versus rush from, this fearful mind or fearful ego. It's like, oh my goodness, I have to make the decision now and perhaps go in the not great direction.
And for you, what would you say? What do you? I mean, you've already told us a little bit about what you looked for in a guide. What are some of the key points that you would say to somebody that would be helpful? Because again, there's so much information, so much choice out there. Could you give us some help with that?
Well, I think for me, the path was so important, path and having a lineage and knowing that they've done this before me. And, for me, it was her essence, her energy was speaking. So I not necessarily had to have much of verbal reconfirmation. It was that feeling, that connection that I want to work with her, but also knowing that there is a path, that there is a way. Because, prior to finding mystery school, and finding my guide, I've tried many things, but it was often like, hitting the wall. I've done something, I've done the workshop, and okay, and so what? Like there was no further steps to go to. So I think having a path and having someone to guide you along the path, and I think knowing that they've done more than you, I think that's so important. So they can actually speak from direct experience and embodiment of their growth.
Yeah, that's so, I think that's so important. Is that then a couple of the points that you've raised is nobody's there to a spiritual guide is not there to tell you what to do. They're just there to help you find those answers within, and I love that. So thank you for pointing that out. And then also the fact that they're also progressing. Yeah. They're also growing. I mean, that's inspiring to me as a I like things to be done well, and I like the adventure, and I like to keep going. And like you, I don't like to come to the okay, is there no more? So I do love that, having that, some
Yeah.
know that there's more.
And it's as you said, it's so inspiring because I've been walking the path for 10 years and seeing my God, it evolved to even more incredible, amazing woman. That's so incredible, but also seeing my progression, what can happen. And it's, as it almost as I walk the path further and further, it's like, oh my goodness, what else is possible? What else can I embody? What else can I do in life? Because it's this constant grow. I don't think we ever healed, that we cannot grow more, or we never at the top of the mountain, that there's not another mountain to climb. So at the beginning, maybe that was a bit daunting because I wanted to arrive somewhere. But then when you keep climbing, it's like, oh my goodness, there's more to me, and there's more to me, there's more to life. It becomes like this beautiful adventure of really knowing yourself, just as mystery school says, know thyself, and then knowing actually our greatness and keep evolving. So that's so fun, and it's so inspiring always to see not only my guide but people around me, continuously growing and evolving.
And what would you say from a practical aspect? You've mentioned a few things, but if somebody's out there right now and they're thinking, well, okay, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have this, they've making all of these kind of, things in their mind already. What would you say to them that a spiritual guide, a true spiritual guide from a lineage with a path, can what practically can they help with?
I mean, whatever your limitations are right now, walking the path, you will outgrow it and overcome. So if you think you don't have a time, by doing the healing, by receiving live activation and initiation and the guidance, listening to the guidance of your guide, you will be looking back after a few months and will be like, really, was I saying this? Like, oh my goodness, I'm doing so much more and I can do it. And it's just such a incredible thing that in our lineage, everything that what we learn, it's for everyday life, for this modern life, to use, to apply, to transform, to grow. So, regardless if you're a parent or a director or employee, this is for you. This is for every person out there. No matter where you are in life, you can always go bigger. You can always let go of some limitation. You can always expand to greater joy and fulfillment. I would just say, try it, take one step at a time, do live activation, do empower thyself, and just see, direct experience is always the best to judge.
Yeah, I 100% agree. For me, I have run a business without a spiritual guide, and I've run a business with a spiritual guide from a path and a lineage, and it is chalk and cheese. I mean, the difference was massive. So for me, I'm all in. So I could see that, from that perspective. Of course, there's many different perspectives to see it from, but that one in particular, I was like, wow, it makes a difference.
It's incredible. Like I can see in my amazing clients, either business owners or parents, how that evolves, how they're managing everyday challenges and problems, and how the clarity evolves, and how they are able to do so much more with greater joy. I think that's the big part, because there's so much stress up there, and I don't think we were born to keep stressing all the time. Life meant to be fun and adventurous. So why not learn how to deal with stress? Why not learn how to let go of it and actually, have more joy in life and greater success?
I 100% agree. So we have come to the end of our time. What is your website addressing if somebody wanted to find you?
It's findblisswithin.com.
Just going to pop that up there. And so if you want to get in touch with Kasia, feel free. And she'll be able to help you take those steps. And thank you, Kasia. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.